freedom to order the same thing every Saturday night. To change your dinner plans. To be too busy to cook. Order what you want, where you want, when you want. Deliveroo, food freedom. 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 Deliveroo, food freedom.
Okay, welcome to another Sunday. Today I'll be drafting. Okay, welcome to another Sunday. I will be drafting Dominaria 3 times. As I've got 3 lots of gold, as always, I'll be pack 1, pick 1, picking a rare, and building the best I can around it. So the oath. Very rarely to untap, so I mean to trigger a second ability, but first one is an expensive one, but still, it's part of a challenge. So again, non-creatures and creatures. So looking at this, I will grab him. Okay, so it looks like I'm going historic is the main thing. So Aspiring Contract is always a general good one. Okay, Syncopate, that's quite good. And yeah, I think it's going to have to be Syncopate here, this one. Relic mana. Into an historic. In drafts, I never really go for more than 3 counters. Lots of little creatures, chomp blockers. Now this is useful because this is legendary. I can exile it and get another blink from it. Don't think I use it, but picking green as a third colour isn't. I like green, so yeah. Anyway, do the tragic poet. So now, historic. Trump for Gerard. Without doubt, it's a Trump for Gerard there. Again, I can blink it to get before a third one and do 2 and 3 again. Removal. Very useful. That's it. A bit expensive, but so I'll grab this one as it's very useful. Lots of combat tricks involved in that one. So I'm going lots of chomp blockers, which means charge is good for all ones. Lets me do the counters cheaper. So I've got 2 bind, 1 syncopate. Now that is useful, but as it's historic, this is fits the deck better. Already got enough there, so it's Adamant Wheel or Syncopate. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. Not quite enough creatures. So keeping them alive isn't too much of a problem. Well, this is a sorcery, it's basically summon 2/2/2s, so I put it in my creature slot. So I'm going to pick into Invoke with Divine. I can use it on the Oath of the Fairy and get it back to Tragic Poet for another cycle. A bit expensive, but again, we're not playing with a perfect deck. See, a bounce is useful, but prescribe to get in my combat tricks and stuff. And from this, another Triumph. Always useful. 2 is more than enough, I won't be playing any extra of those. So it'll be another one of those. Got lots of 1/1s. 2/2 first strike is useful. 1/1 flying is also useful, but the first strike I think is more useful than a flying. Doesn't really matter what I get here. Another charge. A creature. Paladin. And that kind of thing. So from the off, let's talk about the off colours for a sec. Cabal Paladin would be useful, as I do have a few sagas and artifacts, but splashing it for just that isn't really useful because I don't have the mana fixing. So first, most decks I go 16 lands, 14 creatures, 10 not creatures. So let's cut this down a bit. 4, 9, 11, 14, 17, so cut 3. So cut one of those. Cut one of those. Probably cut that one. As Tragic Poet has usefulness greater than 1 more death point of damage. So, I'll play that one. That's not really that useful. All it would be is go through my deck to find that, which has its uses, but it's a bit costly for that. We want both for Gerards, Dub, the Exile, and go with two single fates, one unwind. Yeah, I'm a befuddle for now. If you find it hard cutting down to 40 cards, playing 41, 42 isn't a problem. Just as long as all the cards in your deck are good cards. So I'm happy with this. Let's see how it plays. So no creatures that stop him. As it's the first game, I'll keep it just. But normally, the fact I've got no board presence early on, I would have mulliganed. But I'm happy to give it a go. The first time or two, I always play with deck as is, just to find out how it feels. So it's not too much of a problem. I know I've got quite a lot of cheap creatures in this deck, so wanted enough eventually isn't unlikely. So at the moment, Night Malice is a bit of a problem. So I can increase mine, or decrease his. I'd like to have a few bomb creatures, so I'll leave a deep freeze for later. And up mine. Now, at the moment he's got power advantage, so if I attack he lets it through, he attacks back, I end up losing more damage each turn. He's probably got a combat trick, yeah. But I had to do it. Can't let him hit me for that much each turn. So I'm going to leave this till after I've played this, so I can get a 5/5 flying lifelink. So I won't cast anything, leave it open for Sync of Fate. One. Actually, I will leave this and use a Trickster to kill the Knight of Malice. So again, I will flash him in to kill one of his creatures on the attack. Okay, so I need to discard a card. I want this for the Sentinel to block. I want my lifelink from that. So it's got to have to be with Deep Freeze. As much as useful as it is the... Oh, discard 2. Whoops. Then it's going to have to be those 2 then. Oops, I misread that. So play a Tragic Poet. I believe that on Terrace Wings has made it so I will definitely lose. Unless I get my Exile Blessed Light. It's got to be with Deep Freeze to stop his Banish Guard. And I won't attack to block his Caligo Skin Witch. Destroying lands. Not having much luck here. Wow. So as you can see, 16 lands. It's less than most people play, because most people normally play 17 or 18 in a draft deck or sealed deck. As you can see, it's 16 is perfectly fine. After that game, I might be tempted to drop down to 15, but that is really risky. I would put that game just there down to bad luck on the draws, as far as lands are concerned. I'm getting too many. So, creature spell wise, I would keep this, but as none of these are white, I'm going to have to mulligan. I will keep this. For a scry. That's okay. So I've got 3 draws to get my 4th land. More than enough. Okay, I'm not going to block. He can't block, so I might as well knock his health down a little bit while I can. Okay, so I've got the Unwind to help me. Again, okay. Bit unlucky on the lands. Two lands, that's not what I wanted to see. There we go. So if I use Merfolk Trickster on him, he would actually become just a 4/4 normal thing, because it just reduces his base to standard. So I'm not going to attack with Sarah, I'm going to sacrifice it to the Honor Guard this time, as my life is getting lower than I'd like it to be. See, Tragic Poet. And 3 lands, I've probably helped him with that. Oops. Because he doesn't seem to be problemed by lands. See, he's building up 1 creature as high as he can. As long as you can protect a creature, there's nothing wrong with that. So just some chump blockers. So I'll try to kill the hominid. I really need the land for Blessed Light. And okay, I'm gonna have to use the Merfolk Trickster. Ideally I should have actually played with Triumph Gerard. As it untaps the lands, it's not a real thing, but he has the advantage. I don't need him getting any more advantage at this stage. I can't syncopate it as much as I'd like to, because I need to stop the Benedict Guard. And that's game, because I cannot. See, last game I was mana flooded, this game mana starved. Oh, luck of a draw. Okay, let's have a look, see if there's anything we can change. So, let's have a look. To be honest, I can't really see anything that needs changing. Okay. Yeah. It all looks as the best I've got out of my pool for there. Again, both colours, 3 lands, that's good. A single fate and a rare colour, that's. I've got starting plays, that's a good hand. So the Darren Arcanist over the Relic Runner. Even though Relic Runner's got more damage, the Arcanist will let me pump the Syncopate up 1 more. Just waiting for him to confirm it. Maybe he hasn't noticed. There we go. So let's go aggressive. Okay, what's he doing? Probably burn. There we go, yeah. I'd much rather him use it on that and on something a little bit more useful. Now that's troubling. So let's attack. He won't trade. So I need to keep the Syncopate open now. So I'm not going to actually cast anything this turn, because I need to stop him getting buffed up. had to pick the 3, not the 2, because he would have just paid it. A bit late for that. So I am a bit short now. No answers to his stuff. He's overpowered me. So yeah, that draft wasn't very great for Teferi. Hopefully I'll get a better rare to build around next time. Okay, I'm going to try it. I'm pretty sure he's got a buff, but if I'm going to survive, I've got to remove him from the field. There we go, yeah, there's the buff. So as a mana starved, I've got no problems discarding Hardic Wanderer or Oath of Teferi to give him indestructible. Okay, it's instant, so I'm going to leave it to when he attacks. Discard a Pilot Wanderer to make him indestructible. Block Valduk and exile with 1 elemental. Because there's no point blocking with 1 elemental, because it just assigns the damage as though it wasn't blocked. Okay, in that case, I will just exile. It's kind of a stalemate with the indestructible Sanctum Spirit at the moment. I'm going to keep with Sergeant at Arms. Hopefully I can kick it next turn. Yeah, I'll swap for the Pilot Wanderer to destroy your creature and gain 3 your life. There we go, there's the 6. Now I've got a bit more board presence. And I've got stuff to chomp into his tokens that Valduk makes, if I need to. Okay, save a little bit more life. So that's that. Okay, so he's got mana. He's got 10 mana lands, so the land buff of Warlord isn't irrelevant. But I will. Actually, let's ward wipe him. I'll do that, and then I'll sack Oath of Teferi to Sanctum Spirit. There, now I've got board control. Let's head him into the sky. So next we attack. Got a lifelink. Got more than 20 lives. He's got no enchantments or artifacts to help him boost him. So now he's just searching. He's in trouble. So before the end, I will. Well, he's trying to talk to me, so I'll say hello. So I get the counter, go to thing, get the counter. Hit for 11. I'll play that, might as well. Though if you think they've got board wipes, you would keep it back, just so you've got some recovery after. But yeah, game over. That's that. Okay. 2 creatures, counter spell, and sank big. Nice hand with 3 lands. For most decks, 3 lands in your starting hand you can keep, as long as you've got at least 1 creature or something that gives you a bit of a board presence. Like if I had no creatures, 3 lands, but a Fountain of Renewal, I would be tempted to keep it, because a Fountain would give you the extra life, to give you the time to draw into the other stuff. Yeah, so green white. I won't attack because he's got first strike, which will just kill my dude. Setting up the board presence. See, I could have left stuff open for the unwind, but instance and story buffs that was early game aren't really that strong. It's much better to save them for a game changing later on. So I'll play this now. The reason I'm playing this rather than keeping unwind is I really want to have a look at his deck, get a better feel for what he's doing. See, green white enchantments, which means Benedict Honor Guide is probably going to get big now. I'll let you go through. You can keep your buffs and combat tricks. I don't mind, I could trade with Guy's Protector for my 3/3 if you want to. And I'll save for the unwind now, because it's getting to a point where the enchantments can be quite tasty. I've got to be on one. Let's try to board wipe him a bit. I guess he'll use a charge in this instance. Or he's just going to try and save one. Okay, well, I will unwind that. That can be a bit of a problem. Let's make sure keep the white open. Always in this instance keep the double blue open, because it always gives the possibility that they think you've got another counter spell. So you should always pay attention to which lands you tap. Nothing I'm going to do about that. Okay, give me a minute. So I'm going to cast him now. Give me quite a strong board presence now. I could attack, but I'm going to leave it till next turn and wait for the life link. Because if I attack now, he could have blocked with this Shana and the bodyguard killing it. Then use artifact removal from green to kill that, completely negating the Triumph of Gerard. Don't want that to happen. So now I've got all the mana I need, 3 blue, 3 white. So I'm going to leave the planes in my hand all the time, just as a bluff card. Go to combat. Attack with my lifelink in, 5/5. Okay, he's got some sort of combat trick that way, is it? Pierce the sky. Very nice. And then I will flood the field. And I'll hit auto passing before it comes back to my control. So the game doesn't pause for him. Otherwise he would know I've got a land to play because I've got no mana untapped. So his flying's a bit of a problem at the moment. But we've got time. Most turns it will only be 1 or 2 damage. And that's a combat trick card, and I've got no targets for it. Okay, I've got no equipment, so that card is just a 2/2. Now, Shana is getting a bit big, but at the moment there's nothing I can do about that. Okay. I'll let her through this. No, I'll trump block it. Wouldn't have attacked unless he was happy to lose it, or he's got a combat trick. See, once again getting land flooded. Go on, let's try to kill Shana. This is probably signing my death warrant, but I'm gonna do an all-out block. Hopefully, power out any buff he's got. Go on, let's see what it is. Okay. From the flashes, it looks like he misread Dauntless Bodyguard. Yes, he's definitely misread Dauntless Bodyguard. Because he was hoping to use it to save Shana. So I could have killed Shana the other time. Yeah, so that is 8 non-lands and 10 lands. So that's more than 50% of my card draw has been lands, and only 40% of the deck is actually lands. So I've been pretty unlucky on this game. But power-wise, my creature's currently outdo his, so he's just going to nibble me with flyers. Now I've got a flyer. Get rid of lands, don't need that. More creatures is good. I'll put down another land. Hopefully bluff a counterspell. No. I would attack with a Hummerid, but that means I would need to use the Cloud Reader to kill the Kolios. And I can't risk my flyer at the moment, as it's the only thing putting him on fully hold. So 12. No, he's about 50% as well on his draws. So I guess my power is I've already got rid of all his good cards. That would have been a long, slow game. So this is okay, not great. Sarah Angel, Triumph Guard on with Sarah Angel, make him up big. Was vulnerable to removal, and it's only the one real play I've got. But as always, I do have a play, which, if it works and isn't interrupted, can be game winning. So Sarah Angel. So Disciple even. So I'll play that one first because I want the scry when I play this saga. Doesn't matter the order. I will take the dub. No blocks. So I'm going to put this on the Artificer's Assistant. Does mean I get lifelink, less lifelink next turn, but it means I am completely outpowering him. If we just keep hitting each other, I will win this. And if he's got a kill spell, it won't completely ruin me. So I'm up and let's see. And what I was checking there was making sure Ronus wouldn't be able to grab one of these cards. Looks like black historic. Throw stuff in the graveyard, grab it back. Because could use Memorial to Unity to go grab a creature. Then just file to get Unity back. Use Unity again to grab a creature. That way they go through 10 cards, grabbing the 2 best creatures. If they've got the acceleration, that could put them over the top. Okay. I think this is my win as he's got no fly defense. Yeah, if he's put that in, he must have had a pretty bad pull. So again, 2 creatures, enough mana to pay them, 1 counter spell, and something to give them unblockable later game. It's not the best hand I could get with this deck, but it's a good hand. So let's make sure we've got some creatures on the field. I'll happily take the 1. In a power race, at the moment, I am in the lead. Now I've got the choice, put down a second creature, or leave open for Sync of Fate. Most spells at this power level aren't extremely game changing, so I'm happy to let him have 1 free cast. Okay, that looks like it was a mistake on my part. I've got the 5 so I can exile it as soon as it comes out. Now don't block, I'll just be throwing them at the witch. So when he makes the demon, I could exile it straight away, but I'm not. I'm going to let him take his first upkeep and sack 1 of his tokens first. Yeah, well, I could have syncopated that, but I'll let him have the card draw and actually syncopate 1 of his actual rares. Much more damaging to his board state. So, I could use Oath of Teferi, target 1 of my lands, and hit him for 4. I'll probably do that later, but I'll leave it for now. Now Fungal Plots. That can be very powerful card. I am going to actually syncopate that. And end his turn if he wants it. Is he willing to end his not cast anything else this turn to make sure he gets fungal plots? He is. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to let him sack one of the tokens. Hopefully he's got some buffs to put on the demon as well. That'll make this thing all the better. No, a fallen elemental. I'm still going to exile the demon because the fallen elemental can actually block on the ground still. Whereas I don't have much flying protection. Okay, I'm going to let the witch through. Then when he attacks with a fallen elemental, I'm going to flash in the oh, actually I've got the life, so I'm going to take the hit from a fallen elemental next turn. What I'm going to do is play the Cloud Reader Sphinx. Scry 2. Play the land. So next turn, I will probably let him hit me again. Over to favour Cloud Reader for a second scry. No, I can't let him hit me a second time. I have to kill him next turn, so I can't Teferi him. So Cloud Reader can't block. I'm gonna have to discard a card next. Gotta let him hit me. As I don't have the mana to cast both of these. But I have to kill 4 elemental. Oh no, that's 12, that's dead. So the Cloud Reader dies against Urgos, and the Sentinel with the 2 relic runners kill the 4 elemental. Now he has a choice: either deal 7 damage to me, or kill all my creatures. And he chose... he chose to kill all my creatures. Dark Guardians are looking a lot more useful now with the fungal plots. So any land creatures he's attacking now are going to die. I know. Okay, well that's pretty much game. I'm going to have to discard the Oath. I'll see what my next draw is, but... A Tragic Poet, yay! Yeah, it makes you sapling. I discard a card. Yeah, and that's that. So this draft went 3 and 3. Considering it wasn't for the best draft, I'm not too unhappy with that. Let's see what the next draft brings. So, two business. Draft number 2. Okay, now this is more to the colours I like. Grand Warlord Rider. Green and red. Green is my go-to colour. So let's have a look at that. And red is also good. So what we've got that is always a strong pick. But looking at what I've got here, I'll probably go with the power. Yeah, that's nice, but no. So I'm going to go with that. So I've got pretty much my top end finalised now. It would be tempting to splash black for that, as in I swing half my supplies and bring them back, but it's more aggressive to go the bottom half. That is nice. So is that. But again, this deck is looking to be aggressive. All the power on the front foot. I will take one of those, just in case that goes wrong. A bit of extra damage, 3 damage at the player. Isn't something they expect that often in this format. And 1 damage to all the opponent's creatures in main phase 2 can actually board wipe your opponent. As again, 3s and 4s all forgiven first strike. That's quite powerful. So an extra mana. Unlikely to play him in the end one, but it's always good. I don't plan on playing him at the moment, so he goes in there. Again, I've got quite a strong power base already. I have 2 more boosters still to go. So protection from flying. Okay, let's look. Hala, 3-drop, 3/3 trample. That's nice. Not really many strings in that. So, looking at this, it's one of those 2. At the moment, I don't have any kickers. So the Act of Treason, you play him, you've got a haste creature, so you increase your creature count by 1, and he's still one of theirs. So when you play him, you're actually decreasing your opponent's, you're increasing your overlap by 2, which in the late game stages of the game can actually be a game winner. So now, this is a very lovely pack for red-green. What I've picked so far, I'll go with Grun, Wild Onslaught, and Seismic Shift. Again, the same reason why this gives you an overlap of 2, this increases your overlap 2, and it slows them down as well by destroying one of their lands. If they've only got, like, say, 1 island, or one swamp available. You destroy their one-off land, and that can actually half the deck. But with what I've got here, I'm going to go pick Wild Onslaught, because I never actually intend to be attacking with one creature. Always with a team. Okay, so I've already got a nature spell, so I don't really need one of them. Frenzied Rage, 2 extra damage and menace. Very good. Saplings. I'm going to pick the Saplings over Rage because of the Wild Onslaught. This gives me increases the number of counters I put onto the field with Wild Onslaught. So I've got Goblin. That is tempting, but again, it's not really a constructed deck. So I'm going to go with a Chronicler. The idea being, I get back a Sapling Migration. Any of these actually, all of them was good. So, Corrosive Ooze, not that many equipments really. Frenzied Rage is good. Virulent Strike is good. And Shield of the Realm is okay. So it's going to be one of these two. As I've already got the Chronicler, giving first strike an extra time is good. Sack an artifact. I don't have any artifacts, so not worth it. What I will pick is the Mammoth Spider, as it's flying protection. This is a 2-drop fight spell, regardless of whether it's legendary or not, which is good. And if I put it on a Warlord, he gets a counter as well, which means I can take out the Sphinxes and stuff like that. Yeah, so Pilot Wanderer, always a nice choice. Llanowar Scout. I'm not drawing a lot of lands as the deck theme, so I won't really pick him. I don't have tons and tons of 1-drop spells, so again, I'd probably stay away from him. So I would probably go more power, pick the Wanderer. As it's come around again, I'll pick this, as it does get a 1 chance kicker from the Overseer at the moment. Okay, so I've got the Mammoth Spider, I've got the Fight spell, and I've got the other element. That's 3 protection from flying. It's not much when it comes to a flying heavy deck, but against most decks I only have 1 or 2 flyers. That's more than enough. So I'm going to pick the Adventurous Impulse to speed up my deck. This time I will pick the Rage. And second Goblin, as they are mana ramp, because I could attack with a Warlord with 2 Goblins, get 3 mana, then sack one of them, that gets blocked, for Radiate Lightning, meaning I deal 7 damage, do 1 damage for all his creatures, with no real downside. Orcish Vandal, so I'll place him in for now, but same with Warcaller, I doubt I'll actually play him. Run Amok, good. Shift already got one, so I don't really need it. Okay, so I'm pretty sure, looking at this, I am going to pick Sylvan Awakening. That is a win the game card, especially if I tap only 1 land and sack a couple of goblins for the rest of it. Okay, so 5/5 Vigilance Trample for 5, that's nice. Golden Overseer, okay, I've already got one, so that's 4-drop 4/4 that gets weakened if it gets double blocked. Nearly always gets double blocked. So the choices would be Untamed or Grow from the Ashes, and I'm going to pick the Untamed. So again, the theme of this deck is not attacking alone. It would be nice, but again, I don't see myself hitting 9 mana. Hopefully, if the game goes to plan, I won't even be hitting 6. But yeah, so I'm going to pick the combat trick. That is a very useful card, but it's a legendary sorcery, which means I need to have Hala or Radha on the field before I can cast it, which actually downplays its usefulness quite a bit. But as these 3 are all good cards, this card more than not is going to end up as a dead card in hand. Because of who these are, when I play them, kill spells, bounce spells, etc. are going to hit them quite hard. So I'm going to go with another removal with the candle. Okay, so with this, let's have a look. So the first one hits all my creatures as well as my opponents. So that will kill the Skirk Prosecuttors and the Keldon Overseers. But the second one, plus 2 mana, can boost me up a turn. So if I play this turn 3, turn 4, I can summon one of these, which is a great boost. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep the Keldon. And this one. All of these, including the dual coloured cards, count as red. So I'm going to grab the that one as well. Card draw on Flame of Cold is very useful. Okay, so I'm going to attack a Wild Onslaught. Okay, I'm going to grab a Construct. Warlord's Fury again. Only green. Speed up for the grab from the land. There we go. So for starters, let's make sure I haven't missed anything. Okay, so yes it is. I'm gonna probably drop the worm. Doesn't have the trample. So I've got 2 things for Walker's Randall. End game, just chuck the Sparring Construct. Always useful. I attack with Sparring Construct. If it looks like I'm killed, I throw it with a Vandal. Do 2 damage at something instead, and I still get the counter on something else as well. We'll drop that down. Yeah, I'll get rid of both the goblins. So that's 14 creatures. That's where I want to be. So first off, put the important ones in. Okay, let's get one of those. That. One of those. Okay, let's go with this as the first one. Yeah, I didn't actually put that one in. Yeah, so let's put that one in exchange for that one. Because it is effectively pay 2, get 2 creatures. So you can class it as a creature spell when building your deck. The same as this one, you could strictly speaking count it as a creature spell as well. Oh, and I'm on 17, so I can actually put in one more card that I wanted. So let's swap that for a forest, so that's fine. And Gift of Growth. Because Gift of Growth also has the untap, which means you can attack with your creatures, either use it to buff them and untap it ready for blocks, or use it as a surprise blocker by untapping your creature in your opponent's attack phase. So I would rate this deck higher than the Teferi deck, but then again, I do prefer this sort of deck. So 3 lands, 2 creatures, that's fine. Okay, so looking at this hand, I like to play Flame of Cloud that early. As I'm not playing anything, I'll play with tapped land. Get the negative out of the way. As I wasn't going to play anything, it's not really a negative. So, I could play the mountain, but keep it all green for now. Keep my opponent guessing a little bit. Red-green, looks like he's playing the same sort of game. He went and grabbed a land. No box. So I want to save that for a 5. And I could use this on power, but I'm going to use it to kill his creature next turn. And I don't want to discard everything from a Flame of the Keld, so I'll attack with everything. Hala, does look like he's playing a very similar deck. So actually I'll let this through and kick over growth. Again, I need 7 to make that useful. Yeah, Gift of Growth to kill Hala. I don't mind that trade. I've got the life. Not really that bothered by it. So let's try to dominate the board at the moment. He is playing red, so he could burn it out quite easily. So it's just dumping lands he doesn't need for hopefully better cards. So if I draw a land next turn, I will play the Overseer without the kicker. Play the Keldon Warcaller. As he's playing red green, he's not going to have many things. No, I'll let him. Yeah, so I'm going to play it like this. Push the attack. Does he gift of growth back me? Always a possibility. No, he lets it through. Okay, to me it looks like he's desperate, hunting for a card. So I'll keep one back just in case something goes wrong. So I can chomp block one creature to save myself from lethal, but I don't see that happening. So it's going to kill 2 of my lands. But that is still game. So again, so 3 lands, a creature, not one I really want to be playing without a kicker, but still, and some spells. As I'm on the draw, I'm not really that troubled by it. See, I could match him, but taking 1 damage a turn isn't a problem. Not when we're still on 20 life. Okay, so I'm still going to take the damage this turn. Let him think I'm seriously struggling. Okay, what does he hit? 2 lands, not a proper mouth and growth. I'd rather he didn't, but my deck can still work without it. So play this, that, and hit auto pass, so it doesn't pause. I think I should have saved it with that, but not really too much of a problem. Yeah, I know. It's So what I'm going to do on my turn is Sylvan Awakening. 2 blocks that one, Spinal Construct, and the other land blocks that one. So everything goes to plan. I take 4 damage from him. Oh, sorcery, bugger. Yeah, that's the flaw. So in that case, I'm going to have to block there. So that's 3, 4, 8. No, I can't buff mine enough. Combined with misplays and I wasn't aggressive enough at the start. I should have matched him with a Chronicler at the start. So on to game 3. Now that is pretty much a nothing hand. So I am going to mulligan this. Because no board presence, no destroy their creatures, no stop their creatures, stop casting or anything like that. Again, 1 land. I can't keep that. Even with the scry and the first draw. I'm going to have to keep this one. I have 1 creature and 1 land. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. And I've got the Flame of Keld for extra draw and the Chronicler. So hopefully this will go. Yeah, I'm going to cast this now. Oops. Try to kill it. It's got a buff, so it kills both of them. There we go. And I'll be mana screwed this time. No, let's take that. Let's take it damage for now. I need villains. Oh, I've got to keep him back to block the menace. Okay, so I'm going to block him with both my creatures. Then cast First Eruption. So discarded Torgar is a nice card, but insanely expensive. Oh no, I can't even cast First Eruption. I'm gonna. I've got to play it now. I'd be too low on board state and life. So I'll draw 3 cards next turn. Yeah. Got really screwed over by land this time. So that's 7. And that's going because he just menaces round. No, and he kills it anyway, so yeah. Sorry about that. So yeah, 3 lands, cards up and cast. This is a good hand. So I'm going to cast Chronicle this time. So when I cast Journey Mages, they trigger on their arrival. Yeah, so He can quite happily attack if he wants to. I'm looking at he will do, yeah. So I'll attack with Warlord, because he's got haste. And with a 3 mana, summon the Journey Mage afterwards. That's fine. So next turn I play with Unity. Turn after I sack it to grab another creature. Yeah. I guess he was building up one big creature, which I'd have just gone round the sides of. That is how a deck is supposed to perform. So 2 and 2 still even. Now I've got that and one fight spell, so I can kill it, but I've got nothing else to. So I am going to Mulligan this one. I've got the Scry and the first draw, so hopefully this will work. Again, same as the first hand. I just don't. Yeah, I'll keep it, risk it. So I'm going to sink that, even though it's a decent cheap card, because I need the mountain as quickly as possible. Okay, there's the mountain. So if I knew I was going to get it that early, I would probably have kept it. Kept the Journey Mage. So, no, there's no point blocking that. So, probably misplayed that. Oh, actually, no. So that's how man's play. Yes, that's fine. So I'll get with 2 mana next time, play Mammoth Spider. If I draw another mountain, I will sack it for the next each creature. No. Oh, no, it's not a May. Sacrifice happens anyway. So, yeah. See, sacrificing that has probably given him a pause for about which creatures to summon. Because if he's got weaker creatures that would help him go wide, he's probably not. He's going to hold them back now. So, yes, first option is going to kill the Spine Construct. That is intentional. He's going to put a counter on my Mammoth Spider. Okay, now he's going to die the next turn anyway, so percent damage. Oops. And he's going to die next turn anyway as well. So use him to finish off and kill the Gorger. This is all on the basis that he does not have buffs, which he does, of course. The game wouldn't be that kind to me. And that is game. Take a few more turns to actually win the game, but yeah. And that's game. Okay. That was rather dismal. So 2 and 3. Not quite even. So we've got this time. Nabeen Wizards. So that pretty much automatically puts me into red blue. Okay, so destroying lands is quite useful at the right time, but I was mana starved in that game anyway. Run amok, very useful. Wizards are generally weak creatures, so that's quite good. Arcane Flight. So I'm gonna pick him. Okay, so here's my first wizard. So if Nabeen's on the field and he hits, he'll deal 4 damage, not 2. Okay. He is a wizard, but he has no enter triggers, so I'll pretty much ignore him. Get the rage for Valdok. Okay. Big creature, always good to grab one, but I am going with one of these two. I'll probably go with Syncopate, because it can actually target creatures as well. Yeah. Nice, give everything first strike, but it's also rock. Okay, as I've got Valdok, I'll grab a shield. Another wizard. Another equipment, which is also very useful with wizards as well. Another counter. A wizard probably won't play him, but still. There we go. Very nice. I could use none against comments to play him, but or her even maybe, but still. Splashing for one thing, so that's a bit much. So that second sorcerer's wand. So I can use him to save Nabeen, Valduk. Jousting Lance is very nice, so are creatures, but it will have to be him. As the theme is Nabeen. So let's have a look at that. So on this selection, the Trickster is the straight up winner because again Nabeen neutering 2 of his creatures instead of 1 is always good. So bit of flyers. 3 for a 2/2 is flying 2/2 isn't bad, but it's not good. Whereas what's that? That's 7 for a 4/4 fly. Still not that great. So blink of an eye, give me creature overlap on my opponents, and save myself if need be. Put Curator's Ward on one of Valduk or Dean. When it dies, I draw cards. Always good. Another Journey Mage. In this deck, if I could, I would play 13 Journey Mages and 1 Nabeen. Draw, discard. I'll grab 1 from Big End. Fuddle. Bit of a mana ramp. So now, on this one, it looks like I've got 3 choices. Fire Fist Adept with Nabeen, that's 2 burns at opponent's creatures. Journey Mage with Nabeen, that's 2 bounces. And Chronoc Heart with Nabeen, that's 2 spells back. All of 5s or 6s. I will go with the Journey Mage for now. That's fine. So I'm going to take it within. It does no entry effects with Nabeen, but it does. It is a turn 2 before the Journey Mage. And I'm going to pick Rescue. So I could rescue a Journey Mage, play him, get another burn. I've got 2 Sorcerer's Wands. 3 would be nice, but yes, actually 3 is actually too much. Okay, and looking at that, that's that one. Another enchantment for Valduk. Another rescue for Valduk and Nabeen. Chronicler. Rescue. Curator's Ward. Fuddle. Chronicler casting that twice is nice. Okay, so this is my deck. Let's have a look. So ideally, I want to drop 7 cards. So I start off with playing wizards, goblins, second artifacts, draw a card. I'm going to have 3 artifacts. So I don't really want to be sacking them. So for the first game, I'll do it without him. Winning my opponent really isn't a thing. Killing with the mages is. Yeah, so yeah, that's that. So another one, that's the one. Radiate Lightning. Frenzied. sync up a bit. That one. Oh, no, so it's got one more space. As well, so 13 and 11, slightly off my 14-10 normal, but again, controller decks can play less creatures, as they have more interaction, more ways of stopping your opponent without actually just putting up a physical wall. So, turn 2, Arcana, turn 3, Journey Mage. With the lands to play it, that's fine. So, white blue, that's likely to be historic. Now that hurt. Those are cards I did not want in the graveyard. So next main phase, next turn, as long as the board stays like this, I'll attack with both. He will probably block the Arcanist, then I'll Radiate Lightning to destroy his blocker. Protects me from mill, and deals more damage. So so what I'm going to do this time is Arcane Flight the Arcanist. And pass turn. Radiate Lightning still on the table. Curator's Ward and Journey Mage. Neither of them are wizards, so one does only 1 damage. So, as this is it, I'm going to just bounce for Twitter Giant. It's from another team. So now I've got this, I'm not going to attack with the Arcanist. I will attack with the other two. I've got Radiate Lightning to finish with Twitter Giant. No, so I'm not going to need it, so I will play with Sorcerer's Wand, equip it, and end turn. Now my Arcanist is either a buff, well, give me 1 mana, or deal 2 damage. And a free shock to the opponent's face each turn is useful. Menace, okay. I wasn't going to block him anyway, so that's not. Maybe end step shock him. So I could do Trickster and Radiate Lightning. If he ever gets double strike, I'll drop the Trickster down to negate that. No attacks for now, because he'd trade his 2/2s with my 3/2s. Maybe end step. If he doesn't, it's a menace. I'll let that hit me, that's fine. So I will summon a Sentinel, so I've got creature overlap. Yes, it means I've got to exile with Sorcerer's Wand. Exile my second wand and Slin. Just like that. Bug up, whoops. I'm showing him that, that's fine. Don't really want to do that. May exile, so I'm not going to exile with Sorcerer's Wand. Second half weight was a must. Oh, I still need to target it. But then it should give me a may take action yet, so I have to decline the action. So now, if he goes down to 3 health. Oh no, he's doing a full block. That's fine, so I've still got the negate his double strike with the Trickster. No, please, 4 damage. Yeah, 4 damage. So might as well do it now. Destroys fire. Okay, so looking at this, I should have played it last turn, but no, I couldn't have guessed that. So what I'm going to do is give him a chance. If he doesn't kill me this turn, or summon another creature, this should be my victory. So let's see what you get. 4 damage. So I flash in this. Then I give him rage. Yep, and that's victory. Yeah, so the deck worked quite well there. No changes to it that I want to make. So let's have a look. A few creatures, cards to play it, mana to play them, that's fine. Land order doesn't really matter, because I'm not playing any 1-drops. Okay, he's got no creature presence, so I'll keep the Chronicler back for now. So I'll summon Valduk. Obviously Valduk won't attack into that because he can just pay to make it indestructible after blocking. So I need one of my enchantments or first. Or equipment will do fine. Just throw tokens at him. So that's 6 cost, because you have to tap the land as well. No blocks. Remember, he can still do it, because the tap is an effect, not a cost. So it's got that in there, so it's like it's got a few buffs auras, enchantments, etc. in there as well. Go roll with Judge Sentinel. Tap the creature just for 3 mana each at any time. So I'm going to equip this and start throwing tokens at my opponent. Always keep him untapped. Do the Sorceress 1 damage at the last possible moment. And so that way you can still use him as a blocker. Oh, he's throwing him away, so maybe he doesn't have many enchantments, or he doesn't know that Valduk sacrifices the tokens anyway. So in that case, I will deal 1 damage before he dies. So Valduk got rid of a burn spell and killed a creature. Not insane advantage, but 1 card for 2 is fine. So I'm going to cast this. Bounce for Warcaller. And that could give him, if he has got some sagas, that could give him a proper advantage. So he's got the land to make it indestructible, so I'm not going to block that. So equipping a wand and using it to start hitting him is one thing, but I'm going to ambush him with a sentinel. Is the current plan. So I have to target if there is a target, and again I just hit decline. And I shall block for Warcaller. So I've traded 1 creature for 1 of his creatures and an instant. Again, 2 for 1 card advantage. I am kind of behind on my lives at the moment. But I'm not too worried about that, and I'll do the same thing again. Set the Northus Pearl Trident, block his Dredge Sentinel. I'll let the one through. I don't want his Dredge Sentinel becoming able to kill my stuff until I've got something bigger out. Okay, so he didn't protect his. So that's 7. So only one more land for that. Got no targets at the moment. So my life is low, so it's going to keep him black as a blocker. He's playing red black, so he's got lots of kill stuff. So make it so he can't kill him with spells and that. So now, yeah, I will start just throwing. My Drain Mage will just shock him every turn. Oops. Yeah. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. So I've got my blocker. So this turn he will attack. So he should be on 12 now. If I lose this game by 2 life, I'm going to be disappointed with myself. So put the Sorcerer's 1 down. So I'll fly at him in 4. Keep retreating back foot to block the Aspiring Construct. And I've got the blink in my eye to bounce anything big or buffs he does. So he's going to get 4 tokens out of this and just lose for Demon as soon as it hits the field. Nice card, but a little too late. I would have just blocked it with my Jelly Mage anyway. He shows up now. Bit late. So again, 3 lands. Cards to cast it with. That's fine. At least 1 creature. Got no problems keeping that hand. They said hello, so I'll say hello back. So attack. Burn them for a bit more. Okay, no, counters. Let's try this. Another counter. Ah, that doesn't work. So that's only for instant and sorceries. But having 2 counters in the hand in a draft at the start is let's do this for the card draw and sneak 1 more damage through. Teferi. Yay. I'm going to flash in this Trident. Yeah, you should have done the +1 first. For draw a card and untap the lands. So tap 2 lands manually, untap them. It's a bit of a waste, but I want to be able to burn in some damage. Okay, so go to combat. Combat. Damage to Fairy to a point where he can't bounce stuff. And I'll summon a shield as well. Okay, so let's have a look. Damage this one to equip. So I'm going to cast him. Get rid of a flyer. I'm going to equip him. And try to kill Teferi. Obviously, Teferi's going to survive this. But it's going to remove creatures. Okay. And I'll have to pay to attack. That can be quite troublesome. Somehow I don't see myself winning this one. Yeah, I'll save a mana for the Sentinel. Okay, so definitely got a mana. I would have kept that iron back for discard on the time. getting him out. Yeah, so another journey mage. Shocking for 2. Play with World Arcanist anyway. See? He discarded the Trapper when he should have actually discarded an island. So he did a misplay there a turn before. So bring up the flyer. Down to 17. So 7 cards ahead of me at the moment. So I play with landers I want, I'll get up to 7 from that. All the manners. Playing that should have tapped down one of my creatures, giving him the possibility of attacking with more than just a flyer. But yeah, it's going to be just a flyer for now. There we go. Yeah, so next turn he +1s to Fairy. Doesn't attack. I attack with Academy thing, he blocks it with Avon. Then ultimates to Fairy next turn. And then that's pretty much game. It depends on this. No, he bounces for Academy Drake. I have to see what I draw, but I'm pretty sure that's game. So I draw a land. Yeah, this game. Fairy Ultimates. Normally against that sort of deck, I would play until he actually won. But to save time, and you don't want to watch the 15 minutes it's going to take to do that. Okay. A spell can play. Yeah, it's fine. One mulligan. And a sink. Okay. So play with a keeper, equip with a shield, deal many damages. So, yeah, mountain. And Velduk. So I will equip a shield, go to combat, attack. Now I've got advantage, so the 2 damage isn't important. In fact, an extra body to overlap is going to do a lot more damage than the 2 damage. So as Freya's is about to bounce, about to activate, I'll just bounce this creature. And that's what I call an easy win, because I'll just radiate lightning next turn, and any one of my creatures just hits him. Yeah. So even if I do lose the next 2, I've broken even. So I'm happy with this. Again, 3 lands. A wizard probably won't play him, but first, but enough cards. Yeah. Actually, I might play him. Jump in and jump and kill the lava runner. So I attack, deal 2 damage. So Journey Mage deals 2 damage. So now I'm a creature up and 4 life in front. Okay, so now I'm going to do the Journey Mage on the Lava Runner. Reason being is it destroys the Frenzied Rage, and it puts him back a creature as well. So one of my 3 drops is going to die. It doesn't matter. Putting all the pressure onto him. It's not historic, so that won't save him. See, he's getting close to mana, so influence creature. Now, I'm willing. That's not nice. So I'll take the 4 this time. So with this, if he attacks with both, I'll block the Cyclops. If he's got a buff, I lose, but if he doesn't, then this is my win. Because Valdak creates a token. That one was very close. Okay, so 2 lands, nothing to play. It is a nice hand, but I haven't got my hands to play anything. So I'm gonna have to mulligan. 3 lands, again nothing to play. I've got the Scry, I might as well give it a go. any creature. There's a go method trickster. That's fine. Make it flying, and so you can't be targeted. He's ramping. I could use a chronicler, but 2 impact for now. He is seriously ramping. I think. Yeah, I'll need the extra blocker. Blocker and Arcanist. Now I can do Radiant Lightning next turn. But knowing who is going to attack with just Grun, I really need something to deal with that. Getting hit with a 10-10 each turn is going to make this game rather quick. No, for a second there I thought he was going to make a mistake. Really suffering on my mana front. Okay, so I'm going to have to kill Grun. He's just too much of a threat. Yes, it's costing me quite a bit, but I need to kill him. The game's over anyway, even if he... Okay, well, yeah. So, yeah. No. Oops. Block there. Just deal with damage. Don't think it's going to make much difference. I blocked there. He goes round with 3. So yeah, that's the game. Three mountains. Nothing to play, really. Shield doesn't help protect me or attack him. So yeah, it is a mulligan. That is much better hand. I'll keep that. Scry a Sphinx, yes. I've got turn 2, 3 and 4 plays. Ideally I'll draw the next 2 draws. Well, I've got 4 draws to get the 2 lands I need for that. Okay, so put the Dean on. Equip the Dean to protect him. He's pulling too far ahead. I've got to trust him with shield. Yeah, he didn't have a buff. That's good. So stick that on him, give him more protection, make sure he survives longer. Then start hurting him. As far as last goes, I'm still way behind, so I'm on the defensive still. Okay, so he paid 4 for it, so it's going to die anyway. So I'll take a 5. There we go. I'll keep both of those on top, that's fine. And now I've got overlap on creatures, I can start flying in. Yeah, as I've got Naban on, this will bounce both his creatures. So 3, 6, 9, 12. I'll keep hearing back just in case. But this next turn should be my victory. Just swinging with the flyers. Don't let his lifelinkers have a chance. Here we go. Me against Iki. So 3 lands, 2 creatures to play. Yeah, let's keep a full hand. Pretty straightforward start. So need to equip it. And that, in this stage he would let it through, because 1 power to him, 3 to me. He would win the race. Go on. I'm pretty sure he's got a buff, but trade the Arcanist for a buff. Not a great swap, but it's better than nothing. There we go, especially that one. I'd much rather he gets that one out of the way now. and I will just replace the blocker with one that is pretty much the same. And there's a mountain. Another wizard. And end turn. Okay. So Arcane Flight on the Jenny Mage. We will switch the shield over. Attack with him. And then switch the shield back over. Likely he's going to swing for 5 now. In the air. That is nice. I don't think I have an answer to that. So I'm going to hopefully kill the Pegasus Quarter this time. So the shield on the Jenny Mage, so hopefully one of the two survives. But when he attacks, he could assign more and forget the trample. Because the ability to pay to get it back from the graveyard means killing it only gives me a 1-turn reprieve. So Moltana is pretty much won this game for him. So faster blockers. Yeah, kill that one. Actually, to kill it, all three. Have to block that one. Miscalculated with the shield. You only have to assign lethal before effects, so the effect saved him. Yes. Yeah, go on. It's fine. He's won. So 5 wins. And that is all 3 drafts. Next week I'll be doing 2 ranked drafts, one with gold, one with gems. See you then.